Good evening, everyone. The false light offers salvation through allegiance. The true light offers liberation through silence. Welcome to Be in the Light on the Angel Channel. Hey, what's up, Arnie? Good to see you, man. Episode 98. Yeah, I'm coming up with something special, I think, for the 100th, but can't believe it's been 98 episodes already. Tonight will be the exploration of our inner universe a little bit. So hope everybody's doing good. It has been a really challenging couple of weeks, this last week especially. Just like getting bombarded from every aspect on things that, like, oh my goodness. And I have to, oh, hey, Jason, what's up, man? Good to see you. Tom, welcome. Oh, yeah. Alana, good to see you, girl. I can't see tonight. Hey, what's up, boy? Glad everybody's here, man. It has been one of those weeks, when you do a lot. I've been doing a lot of shadow work for a long time, decades. And you get to this point where you feel like you addressed it all, right? Everything's good and nothing really rattles you. And I have last little while, like I'm not mad about stuff. I don't really get pissed off about stuff. And I have gotten really good at not circle thinking and just letting stuff go. But then, the universe shows up, especially, okay, Mercury retrograde last week, man. That was just the most, like, I've laughed so many times during the week thinking about the show last week. And after we talked about Mercury retrograde and all the other retrograde planets, and then just a few minutes later, the audio turns off. I still have no idea what I hit, if I hit something, and I have no idea how it came back on either. So it was just the quintessential Mercury retrograde example and experience. And then the next morning, like the very next morning, I woke up and went to log into my bank stuff, and I was locked out of my bank. So I freaked out, waited till 9 o'clock, rode right to the bank. Nobody's in the bank. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. You have got to be kidding me. And it was Veterans Day. So it was a holiday. Nobody was there. And it all worked out fine. It was all perfect and everything. But man, it just, I sat there in the truck as I was getting ready to leave, just kind of chuckling and going, oh my goodness, it's just like the perfect example. And last week especially was just inundated with those sort of things. Plus, I have Pluto in my sign, and then we've got Saturn in retrograde and Jupiter in retrograde and Neptune's in retrograde and Uranus is in retrograde. And like, oh man, all these things that deal with like your lessons and your shadow and like all this stuff. And so I got presented with a whole bunch of little things, and I was really trying to deal, man. One of the other things that's going on right now that's making it more difficult to deal is the crazy solar weather, man. I don't know if you keep up with it at all, but there have been, like last week, we had a massive G4, which is almost the highest level of coronal mass ejection, like boom, hit us directly. And that energy is really like disruptive and makes people aggressive and want to fight, and it's kind of like sucks everybody's energy and they don't really want to do anything, so they're all just nudgy and like, man, you poke somebody and they go freak out. So I've but like things were just collecting and collecting. A couple really intense ones, like some really like I got some really really bad news about a friend of mine, and I was trying to help work through that, and it was just like collapsing in on me. And then somebody decided to give me a nice little boom, like out of the blue, and like totally doing my mom. Like my mom in the worst, like in the most extreme way. You know, I love my mom. We had a really great relationship. And as I grew up, we got to be closer and closer and closer. But when I was really young, and she was a kid when she had me, man. But her techniques of control and went really super deep, and I just really realized how deep this one is. So I've been in the zone of trying to not freak out and like not go back to that space of feeling helpless. But like it's a crazy thing now. Like you go to that space and feel helpless, man, you're not helpless anymore. And it's like, oh. And it was just really bringing out the dark side of me, man. I just wanted to rebel and to respond and to like, oh. And I'm not gonna lie, man. There were a couple times I've just like stewed on it, and I'm like, oh, let go, let go. No, no, no. Just whack it. Just blast it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that'll make me feel better. No. The great news is I got right to that point of like, oh man, I just heard my own voice in my head going, is this going to advance you? Get out of my head. No, it's not. Damn it. Okay. Inga, what's up, man? Glad you could make it. Your decks are going. Here's another one. Inga cop a couple decks, and she lives in Iceland. And for some reason, Shopify decided to like just have a major like geek about like the shipping stuff to Iceland. Took me days to like unravel that and get that worked out. And so anyway, they're going out tomorrow, and you and I can connect in the morning if you want. Yeah. Okay, where was I? Anyway, I have taken every opportunity. The ones that are like super deep like that, man, they don't want to come out. So I've just been jitsuing and meditating and going to zero space and getting in a really cool place. I've been doing a lot of sound design stuff on myself, and just kind of trying to process what all that was really about. And, you know, when you look at it in clarity from the third band where your intellect lives and not your second band where your emotions live, it makes it a lot easier to see what is actually happening and to, yeah, see the opportunity in this situation that is presenting itself to you again, that has been with you since your early childhood. And here's an opportunity to really like put some correct action on that, good energy on that, and fix that in ways that aren't destructive. Like I used to like rebel. My way of rebelling was just acting out in some way. And I realized I've kind of carried that like my whole life. And so great piece of introspection, not very comfortable, but also very worthwhile. And I'm like so on the other side of that now. So how you guys doing out there, man? Is everybody in a good place or in a weird place, or where you guys at? Let me know. Also, as always, you know, get on the list for reading at the end of the show. So we always take care of everybody, right? As always, I'm going to thank our sponsors, Pride Okra Entertainment, my friend Ernie Mosteller. Heartfelt thanks for the support and the continued belief, man. Really means a lot to me. And our good friend Audrey Asciutto, badass Sebring realtor and owner of a really awesome little B&B here right in the circle in Sebring called Audrey's Place. So thanks, heartfelt thanks with both of you guys, man. Appreciate the continued support. All right. So, yeah, I was really happy that I got a bunch of questions this week. A number of them about last week's show, and for those of you that have sent really good supportive comments, man, and letting me know what you think about what's going on, I really appreciate it. And any of you that feel compelled to give me some input, I'm always a work in progress, man. And I want to build this show for us. And like, if there's some specific topic, now that we've kind of left the exclusive angel world, if there's some specific topic that you want to talk about or explore, let me know. I'd love to bring that on the show and flesh it out and see where we go with it. All right. So, my explanation of the extra stuff on the decks. Oh, by the way, like, if you want to purchase a deck from my site, until Christmas, I'm going to be offering a free reading to go with that, a free full-size reading. I got a lot of response last week about explaining the cards. It seems like a number of people really like that information. So I'm thinking about doing maybe another show or two on the angel deck and fleshing out the tarot deck a little more. And Linda Martin, good to see you. I also want to, take it a step further and share a couple of my favorite tarot readings that I've developed for myself over the years and see what you guys think of those. And so we'll get on with that. I had a question about the Ifa Odus on the court cards, right? Just for a quick review, there are 4 court cards in each suit: cups, wands, pentacles, and swords. And each of those, all of those together, 16 court cards in the deck. And as it turns out, that many of the other divination systems from around the world that I've studied over the years, kind of the core of their nut is based off of 16 symbols. The younger Futhark runes and the geomantic symbols and the Ifa Magiodus. Magi means twins. Anyway, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the Ifa stuff. I had some really specific questions on that, and I'm happy to go into that a little bit more. All right, let me bring up my little chart. Okay. These symbols that you see here are the Ifa Magiodus. And the way those odus are arrived at is with a thing called an hooPlease. All right. So let me see if I can get this here better. Yeah. All right. So what this is there are 4 seeds that are cut in half. This is called an hooPlease seed. And these originally come like this with these things connected at the top, right? Yeah. And your thing, you don't buy your hooPlease, you make your own hooPlease, right? So the first thing was finding these crazy seeds, which was not that easy at the time, pre-internet. And breaking these apart is just a bitch, man, because this little neck at the top wants to just break off. I must have gone through dozens of them before I finally got these done. This is not an actual working hooPlease. This is my demonstration one. You never really want to, pull your hooPlease out, a real ritual one, unless you're doing a reading or, yeah, checking it out. So anyway, what happens is each of the sides of these represent a 1 or a 2, right? The back, yeah, the back, there we go. So these are 1s and 2s. And as you throw this, you mix this up and throw it right onto your divination board. And the combination of these winds up being the Odu, the sign. Well, there are 16 signs called the Meiji Odus, the twins, where both legs of the hooPlease match each other, right? So those are like the 16 mother symbols. And from there, those Meiji Odus, each one of them, like if they're different, they're different combinations. And the combination of all the different Meiji Odus comes out to 256 different Odus. Each one of them with really lengthy stories called patakis that have plants to use and sacrifices to make and all kinds of like time of day sort of things and things to eat. It's really super detailed. And each one of those signs has, some of them have hundreds of patakis. And they're, when a Babalao does a reading, that's where the magical ability of the Babalao really comes in, is being able to pick what the most appropriate pataki and share that and be able to pass that information on. But yeah, super cool thing. The Ifa, comes from Africa, and one of the reasons I included this with the deck is because the whole my whole trip through that African side of magic was really so much about nature, and that whole cosmology grew up explaining things about nature, the weather, the land, the animals, and like everything around them was explained in a God connected to aspects of nature way. And that became, where the tarot is sort of this intellectualized sort of system from Europe, like having this whole tribal, like really natural perspective can really give you a really great, interesting, unique look at whatever your question is from a completely different point of the world and point of view. Um, of course, the little meanings I put in both for the geometry and for the Ifa Odus are just little snippets and intended, like, if you kind of feel some resonance from them, they have a tendency to reach out to people when they're when they're supposed to get them. Then I strongly encourage you to dig in. There's a plethora of information out there now that's really easily accessible, and go scope it out. And try out the when I do the class on the readings, we'll do. I'll show you exactly how the court cards work with that. There are two ways to use those court cards. You can either use them as 6 to 16 symbols themselves, separate those out from the deck, shuffle them up, and then boom, that whatever card you pull is going to relate to that. That's really cool. So one of the ways that I've developed my own I've been reading for 40 years. So, you customize it to your own personal zone. And I originally came across this idea from my teacher. And I don't really read with court cards. Like, I don't leave the court card up and read the court card as part of that. I read the court card as the definition of the person that's involved in that situation. And then I pull another card and put that over the top of the court card. And that's the modifier that shows what role that person is going to play in this particular situation. So in those cases, looking under the modifier and seeing what the signs are on that court card is just another added way to look at it in a very deep and detailed way. All right, let's see here. I'm talking too much again. Okay. Hear a lot about the simulation now, right? Simulations everywhere. And when I first heard about this is a long time, decades ago, I thought it was really an amusing and interesting intellectual path to go down and just see where that would go. And it didn't really make sense at the time, and it didn't for a while. But as I learned more and more and more, and my vision got farther and farther out, it was like the only thing that filter that I could put over things, that it was never wrong. It always wound up being like, oh yeah, it's complete simulation. So I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, I was sitting out in my little magic garden late at night, and I'm just I love doing taking some concept that's unanswerable and just putting your brain to it and see where it goes. You don't usually answer it, but man, the things you find along the way are just wondrous, right? So I decided that I wanted to kind of figure out this whole simulation thing. And I just started traveling and traveling and traveling. So as I brought my physics world and science world and the whole quantum field scenario into it, and I started really scoping out a lot of the religious and spiritual disciplines around it, a bunch of stuff started at the same place, right? Like Kabbalah, for instance, the Ein Sof, it's the unknowable potential, that is everywhere. It's everything, yet it's all possibilities. It hasn't been formed yet, which is a perfect description of superposition quantum field. So the teaching goes that at some point and I'll use the word God just because, or I'll use the word source. So the source decided to separate from that quantum field and begin considering itself. And as it began to consider itself, each of those thoughts started populating a universe. And each one of those things just grew and grew. And as those universes happened, the things that were thought about in the original source start to filter down through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of uh, different life forms, and each thing that was created. And this is a truth. By the way, what I'm putting forth right now is, I'm not offering it up as I think this is truth and this is the way it is. I think this has been a really great mind twister for me, and it's taken me to some really crazy places. So with that said, so the thoughts that you have, everything that you think, all your conversations, every single experience you've had since you started, boom. And I kind of like, I don't know, there's this sort of metaphor about like when an egg and a sperm, like boom, when that initial burst happens that starts that reproduction part, it's kind of like the analogy of a singularity, boom, and stuff starts happening. So like as that being like grows, they're creating a universe. What you think about on the astral becomes a real thing. Like when you think about, you're making up somebody, or you're thinking about an interaction with somebody that didn't really actually take place in your universe, that's a real thing. And you created like living things in your particular universe that go on. So if you take that to kind of this crazy point where like things get created, and then in each of those, like in your creation, in your universe, now those uh, manifestations in their universe, they're now like creating things, and it just like it boggles the mind. It just goes on infinitely, 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 infinitely. So kind of the realization out of all of that is that, there are none of us, like we are all, like how many people? 6 billion people on the earth. Well, there's 6 billion universes on just planet Earth. And if you think about it, like nobody is able to really penetrate your universe in totality. You can describe things, you can share experiences where there's lots of things that are in common, so you're kind of on the same page. But no one can see all of that, man. Think about it. Like every conversation, every person you met in school and your work career and your job, and every concert and every crazy thought you've had, everything you've made up, every fantasy you've ever had, like all of that is living in your universe, but nobody else can touch it, which just blew my mind when I first got to that. Because what that means is that we are a multiverse, like right here. And you're a multiverse. You're the creator in your own universe. And that's a very important point to remember, and worth hashing out a little bit here. There's an old saying that I first heard Gandhi say it. What you think, you become. And if you really buy, which I have enough experience myself now to like completely own that what you think you're creating in your space. And if you really take that on and believe that and see that, then you got to take a lot more responsibility for the things you're thinking about, for the interactions that you have, and you need to be able to connect on a zone that like is creating positive things in your universe. And if your universe is super sucking, you need to change your thought patterns. You need to change your perspective. You need to change what you're thinking about on the inside. That's where your universe is. It's on the inside. Here, let me share some of the stuff here. So I did a bunch of light paintings, getting ready for the show and to use as a little promo piece there. And this is an example. This is a perfect visual example of what's going on inside you. Like this whole world is happening right in the middle of your skull, and no one else can touch it or see it or actually feel it in exactly the same way you do. Yeah, these are really fun. I'll just run through these really quick. Yeah. Yeah, that one. I love this one. I don't do a lot of red stuff, but this is a really good one. Yeah. All right, so over the past week or so, when I've just wanted to like go there, man. The gig is not that you go there, but that once you go there, what do you do about it? And do you just let it run free and run amok and just completely create this whole scenario that doesn't need to be created? Or do you just say to yourself, stop, pull out your tools? I mean, we had a whole show 4 or 5 shows ago talking about the tools for keeping balanced and centered and keeping your energy cool. So you pull those out. I've used every single one I know and some new ones during the past week, and you just keep going back to, what do I want it to be? Not what I hate. What do I want it to be? Not what I hate. And just stay there. Keep pushing it back, keep pushing it back, keep pushing it back. The more intense the scenario is, the more it's going to want to push you off that center. But that's the place, man. The true light offers liberation from silence. From silence. And the crazy thing about that silence is, when you turn your own voice off, you hear the other stuff that's around trying to like manipulate people and control, and like, oh, wow, that's not me. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah. So I've kind of used what you think you become as a mantra for a long time. But I think it's only just in recent years that I've really come to understand that on a deeper level that affects the way I live, and not just words and a nice, happy thing I can post on, inspirational thing I can put on Facebook. When you live that, it changes things really in very profound ways. So I've been reminding myself of that. I've had a bunch of in the mirror talks with me, wagging my finger. Yeah. Okay. So let's create some sacred space and go down to blank space and just enjoy that silent bliss for a little bit. Ah, ciao, mio maestro. Yeah. Um, yeah, let's just get to it. All right, here we go. The light is the source. I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. I love it when it comes in. With the radiant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together in joy and love and light, create our sacred space, our circle of energy, our place of safety and sanctuary. We ask that our guides and our angels be with us this evening. They share their knowledge, their wisdom, and their love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, especially the ugly, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. We open our circle. All right, before we go down blank space in our breathing, I wanted to share a card I pulled for us as a group card. This is the Angel of the Knowledge of Good and Evil. All right. This is a good one for tonight. The advice and help you need is being offered now. Listen carefully now. It can come from the most unexpected places. Your situation isn't half as bad as you think. Pay attention to good advice and act on it. Stop sabotaging yourself. No more of this yes, but attitude. You know exactly what you want. Why are you trying to convince yourself that you cannot have it? Stop. Move through this negative thinking. Seek good expert advice on what to do about your problems. And as valuable as specific instruction is, just as important is your readiness to listen and seek help. Through the act of finding help, a reader, a therapist, or even a friend, you open yourself to possibilities. Then you can decide which course, independence or seeking advice, will produce the best results. Set free your imagination and tease your curiosity. All right. All right, we're going to ride down to blank space. We're going to take 3 really nice deep breaths in, and I want you not to be pulling in air, but pulling in golden source light, healing and bright and gold, and so bright, it's almost not gold, it's almost white, warm. And as you draw it in through your nose, let it filter down through your whole body and just infuse every part of your body with healing and rejuvenation. And if there's some specific like thing that's wrong right now you need some help with, before you start, focus your intent on that particular part of your body and send that energy right there. Okay. Also, when we're inhaling, I want you to really pack it in, man. When you get to the end, there's still some more room. Like, make sure you've got it all packed in. Okay. And then on our exhales, we're going to be doing, we're just going to be riding down into bliss, into silence, into blank space. And as we're going down, I want you just to tie your breath to that. And as it's approaching getting out of your breath, I want, when we get to silence, just freeze frame your breath, your thoughts. It's like everything's just frozen for a few seconds. And that place where you're not thinking is like the answer. The answer. And to be able to go there for as long as you want, super cool. So what we're doing with this exercise that we do every week is to just increase the length that you can stay there. The last one we'll hold for 30 seconds. You know, we've been doing this for a while, so a lot of you have built up your ability to hold that spot. The key, the next little step forward on that to be able to go as long as you want is to be able to take shallow breaths while you're there and not interrupt and not start thinking again, right? It just really shallow breaths and just stay in that frozen state. Yeah. I go there really fast now, man. I love that place more than I can even begin to tell you. Okay, let's get rid of this. That was a pretty crazy reading. Yeah. All right. Get comfortable. Give your shoulders a little twist out. And here we go. Inhale in through your nose. Use your solar plexus to draw bright golden source energy. Fill it up. Fill it up. And release. Sinking into the silence, the chaos, the noise, the sounds of the world fading away. Distant. No mind. Deeper. Silence. And inhale into your solar plexus. Use your solar plexus into your nose. Really fill it up. Bright gold. Much as you can. Really stretch. And release. Sinking deeper into the blissful silence. No time. No future. No past. No thoughts. Deeper. Silence. Last one, and inhale. Really stretch, fill it up. Feel that energy brighten your whole aura. And release. Sinking deeper and deeper. No mind. No thoughts. Deeper. Silence. Holding for 30. $15. And take a deep breath. All right, we're going to do a box breathing sequence. And I want to throw out a challenge to you guys. This particular sequence is designed to generate a particular kind of energy. So we're going to do 9 of them, which is enough to start to get an effect for you. I want you to be aware of how that energy feels, right? Is there a color, or is there temperature, or is there a sound, is there a smell, anything, right? And look for the subtle signs. Don't expect like, boom. I mean, not that it couldn't happen, but generally it doesn't. So I just want you to start to kind of train your feelers to, first of all, sense the energy, and then get some sort of read on what the attributes of that particular energy are. Okay? All right, this is going to be, I call this my Tesla sequence. It's a 3 inhale, 3 count inhale, a 6 count hold, and a 9 count exhale. Okay, and we're going to do 9 of those. On the exhale, on the 9 exhale, get a nice resonant hum going. The lower, the more you can make your skull vibrate, the better. All right. All right. So put your feelers out and let's begin. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And rest. All right, just be still and reach out with your attention. And experience that juice, that energy. How does it feel? All right. So that particular sequence is specifically designed to generate really cold energy. Normally, we're dealing with heat energy in a lot of healing situations, like when you want to mend something, a bone or skin together or something like that. You want to foster growth, and you want that to kind of speed up and go. With some things like cancers and tumors and skin tags and other stuff that you want to go away, you don't want to apply any energy to that is going to promote that. So you go to the flip side of that, which is this nice 369 scenario, and that generates super, 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 super cold energy when you get a little practice with it. And that stuff is just really good. I've made a lot of skin stuff go away. And yeah, it also has some other properties attached to it too that I don't know if you guys felt or not. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in. We're kind of running close to time. I'm going to jump in for a reading for Inga this evening. Okay, girl. 3 nice breaths and get really, really focused, okay? Words of wisdom from my good friend Inga. Words of wisdom from my good friend Inga. Words of wisdom from my good friend Inga. Number 5, the angel of healing. I should have just left it there. All right. Completion and a new beginning. You have succeeded, perfected your art, and you will feel balance, satisfaction, and joy. Exactly, right? Make plans to enjoy the fruits of your hard work. Romantically, you could be forming sound foundations for a marriage or a relationship. It will be a rich and satisfying match. Your mind is buzzing, creative and sharp now. Seeds you've planted begin to bear fruit. Rewards will be received for your past efforts, and abundance will be the word of the hour, and prosperity rules. Meet and beat your present challenge, and you will feel the sense of completion, the welcomed regeneration when opposite energies finally harmonize. Yeah. These moments are a deep soul cleansing. Celebrate and be generous with your treasure. Show appreciation to those who supported you. Give your permission to be your biggest self. Allow your higher spirit to assist you in leading and lending assistance to others. Life is a beautiful celebration. It really is. Life is beautiful celebration. Embrace it at every turn of the road. You are a seeker on the path, enjoying the comfort of being spiritually centered, secure in the knowledge of actions completing the karmic contract. Your course has been established and proven. Feedback is excellent. Let there be celebration. And stay the heck off of ChatGTP. All right. You know, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce your name. Let me see here. Where'd you go? So I'm going to give it the best shot I can and offer you my apologies. Your name is Hajati? All right. What I need you to do is just imagining us standing face to face, and we're looking at each other directly in the eye, and we're connecting energy. And if you have a specific question, focus really hard on that and beam that to me. All right, let me reach out and grab you. Focus. Words of wisdom for my new friend Hajati. Words of wisdom for my new friend Hajati. Words of wisdom for my new friend Hajati. The Angel of Eloquence, number 50. You like to run off on tangents and new input. Stay focused and concentrated on the task at hand. Keep hold of your perspective or your self-confidence now. Write your new ideas down for later exploration and stay riveted to the task in front of you. Your fear can create insecure feelings and cause you to procrastinate. Communicate directly and clearly. Jealousy arises from uncertainty and confusion. Quarreling solves nothing, and any force or pressure could ruin all your plans. When things are not working exactly the way you want, take stock of the situation. Even a slight adjustment can and will change everything. Here are the problems of extremes. And oh man, this is so true. A major temptation is to move too fast. To try is like letting a rubber band be drawn tighter and tighter as the lead end moves on. Eventually, the tail end must be let loose and will spring forward. to join the lead end, and one great snap to make up for lost time. The backlash can really hurt. Yeah, staying focused, learning to ride down to blank space on a daily basis helps that more than I can possibly tell you. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's see. I've got one for Luna, Luna, Alana Luna. Oh, okay, and I've got one for Alana and one for Tom. So here we go. Alana, you're up. Your light's really pretty tonight. Focus. Take a deep breath and bring it down. There you go. Words of wisdom from my friend Alana. Words of wisdom from my friend Alana. Words of wisdom from my friend Alana. Wow, the exact same card. And I shuffled the hell out of it. All right. You like to run off on tangents and new input. You know, for everybody still out there listening, usually when I get a card, this happened a few times over the course of the show. When I get a card that's like 2 or 3, I actually had one where it was 3. That's usually an indication that's like for everybody. So maybe everybody could perk up on this one a little bit. You like to run off on tangents and new input. Stay focused and concentrated on the task at hand. Keep hold of your perspective and your self-confidence now. Write your new ideas down for later exploration and stay riveted to the task in front of you. Your fear can create insecure feelings and cause you to procrastinate. Yeah. Communicate directly and clearly. Jealousy arises from uncertainty and confusion. Quarreling solves nothing, and any force or pressure could ruin all your plans. When things are not working for you, take stock of the situation. Even a slight adjustment can and will change everything. Here are the problems with the extremes. A major temptation is to move too fast. To try is like letting a rubber band be drawn tighter and tighter as the lead end moves on. Eventually, the tail end must be let loose and will spring forward to join the lead end in one great snap to make up for the lost time. The backlash can hurt. All right, Tom. Yeah, I heard you met a friend of mine. All right, focus. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. All right, words of wisdom from my good friend Tom. Words of wisdom from my good friend Tom. Words of wisdom from my good friend Tom. Ah, yes. Number 28, the angel of longevity. Look for the truth that is not fantasy. Your false optimism and trying to hide your fears will only lead to more fear and weakness. When things are not happening exactly the way you want them, be like water and do not allow the tension and pressure to accumulate. Flow, flow. Yeah, flow around, not try to like muscle through. It quickly becomes a defeatist attitude, the belief that you are being overrun by the enemy or that you are being betrayed. This attitude can become a self fulfilling prophecy. So use your creativity and flexibility to claim the ultimate victory, the victory which provides for clarity of vision and creative expression experienced mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. There you go. All right. I think I copped everybody. Let's see. Let me just do a double check. Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Tom. All right. So, again, for any of you guys out there wanting to do a nifty Christmas gift or just give yourself a treat, the new decks are in, and they're really super beautiful. And I'm offering a special, like if you mention this show when you buy it, I'll be happy to give you a free full reading, which is usually an hour and a half, sometimes more. And let's hook it up. All right. Yep. As always, hit the like, subscribe, and please leave a comment, even if it's just one word, #live or whatever. Really does help me a lot. And if you've got a friend that you think would really benefit from some energy practice, please invite them and welcome them to the fold. Okay, let's see. I think, my friends, that brings us to the end. Just want to express my gratitude and love for you guys coming and spending time with me and developing our little energetic circle here. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys again next week. All right. So without further ado, we joyously come to the end of our gathering and send everyone happily on their way. We express our gratitude to our guides and angels for their wisdom and knowledge and their love of the source. And with absolute gratitude for it all, the good, the bad, and especially the ugly, infinite unconditional love, and our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, be in the light.